Hello, and welcome to your next math lesson. I'm Mr. Yorio from Citizenship Academy, and we're moving on to lesson 8 today. So in this lesson, we're going to build on what we did in the last lesson, learning about that vertical adding method. We're going to use both our place value discs and drawings to kind of understand that a little bit better. So for this lesson, you're going to need something to write with, as usual, your place value chart, and whatever you've been using for your place value discs from home. I like my Cheerios. So go ahead, pause the video, grab those things, come back when you're ready. And here we go. We're going to start with our application problem. All right, this one's a little bit tricky, so don't dive in and just do it yet. I want to have you talk about it. We're going to talk about it together. Okay, this is what it says. At the school fair, 29 cupcakes were sold. 19 were left over. How many cupcakes were brought to the fair? I'm going to read that one more time. At the school fair, 29 cupcakes were sold. 19 were left over. How many cupcakes were brought to the fair? I'm going to have you turn and talk to someone at home. What is this problem asking, and how can you solve it? So pause, talk about it, don't solve yet. It's a little bit tricky, right? So for this problem, they said 29 cupcakes were sold. So 29 cupcakes they sold. But we still have a little plate of 19 cupcakes left. But they want to know how many cupcakes were brought to the fair. How many cupcakes did we start with? So we sold 29. We have 19 left over. They want to know how many we started with, how many were brought to the fair. So what are we going to do with these two numbers to solve for that? Absolutely. We are going to add them. We want to know how many cupcakes we started with all together. So you are going to add 29 plus 19. I want you to solve this in the way that best works for you. The arrow method or a number bond. So pause and do that now, and we'll go over it. Ready? Okay, so we're going to do the arrow method first. What I'm noticing is that 19 is 1 less than 20. So when I do the arrow method, I'm going to add 20 and then take 1 away because it's easier for my brain to function that way. So I'm going to start at 29 and I'm going to add 2 10s, add 20, get to 49. Now, because I'm not adding 20, I'm adding 19, I got to take 1 away and I get to 48. Thumbs up if you did it that way. Good job. All right. Number bond way, you add 29 plus 19. We just said that 19 is 1 away from 20, 1 away from that next 10. So we're going to decompose the 29 into 28 and 1 so that I can add that extra 10. So 19 plus 1 is 20. Add 28 to that, our leftover 28. We get 48. 48 cupcakes brought to the fair. Excellent job. All right. Before we get into our lesson, I want to do a little bit of fluency practice. We're going to review number patterns. We did this a couple lessons ago, but it's important to recognize patterns in numbers. So I'm going to show you a pattern. I want you to tell me the place value of the digit that is changing. Okay? So our pattern is 124, 134, 144. What place value is changing? Yeah, the tens place. Very good. On your paper or whiteboard if you're using it, tell me the next number. Write down the next number in this pattern. Do that now. Good. You should have 154. So what is our pattern? Adding 10. Awesome. Let's do another one. All right. Place value of the digit that's changing. We have 278, 268, 258. What place value is changing? Same thing. Good. It's the tens place. On your paper, on your whiteboard, whatever you're using, write down the next number in this pattern. So it'd be 248. Following that pattern, 248. So what is the pattern? Good. We're taking away 10. We're subtracting 10. Last time we were adding 10. Now we're subtracting. All right, let's do another one. 99, 109, 119. What place value is changing? You got it. The tens place. Very good. Write down the next number in this pattern on your paper right now. You should have 129. Awesome. Now, what's the pattern? We're adding 10 more. Very good. All right, let's do another one. Place value of the digit that's changing. We start with 380, 379, 378. What place value is changing? Don't get tricked. This one's a little bit harder. Say those numbers again in your head. What place value is changing? Good. This one's the ones place. Even though our tens place moved, we're counting by ones. Our ones place is changing. 380, 379, 378. Write down the next number in this pattern. Be 377, or changing the ones place. And what's the pattern? Subtracting 1. Very good. All right, we're going to skip this one because I want to get into our next fluency practice. So I'm going to show you a set of 4 different addition problems. They're all related, okay? What I'm going to have you do is write those problems on your paper with the answer. So here are your 4 problems. I want you to pause and solve these, okay? Just write down the addition sentence with the answer. Come back when you've solved them all. Got it? Okay. So you should have noticed a pattern with them. Each one of these, your ones place is ending in a 2 because you're adding the same ones every time. It's just your tens place that's changing. Thumbs up if you got those. If not, go ahead and correct them. And we'll move on to the next one. All right. Next set. Go ahead and write these down. Pause, solve. Come back when you're ready. Ready? So you should have noticed a similar pattern with these. You're starting with 9 plus 6. You're adding 9 ones and 6 ones. When you do that, you should get the same number in the ones place. It's just your tens place that is changing. So go ahead and check your answers. Correct yours if you need to. Take your time. Pause for as long as you need to. And then we're going to go on to the next one. All right. Ready? Write them down, solve them, come back when you're ready. Got it? Same thing. Should be noticing a pattern with that ones place. Here are your answers. Going up by 10 every time, just as these numbers are. Go ahead and check your answers. We have one more to do. Here we go. Last set. Boop, 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 boop. All right, pause and solve. Got it? All right. Should have figured out 7 plus 6 is 13, and then use that to solve for the rest. So go ahead and check your answers. Excellent work. Just practice noticing patterns and kind of figuring out some of those, practicing using those basic math facts that we're good at. All right, moving on. Here we go with our vertical addition. All right, take out your place value chart. Now, on your place value chart, just like you did yesterday, I want you to show me 32 on the top and 24 on the bottom. So use your whatever you're using for your place value discs and your place value charts. We're adding 32 plus 24. Show me 32 on the top, 24 on the bottom. Pause and do that now. All right, so it should be 32, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. All right, now we're going to add in vertical form. Let's add our ones first. How many ones do we have? 6 ones. Awesome. So I'm going to write that right under here. See how we did? Remember how we did that yesterday? When it looks like a place values chart, we have 32, 24. We're adding right here, and we're going to write our number underneath. Okay, we have 6 ones. Now, how many 10s do we have? Yep, 5 10s. So 32 plus 24 equals 56. I want you to pause and talk with someone at home about how this vertical method matches your drawing right here matches your place value chart. How do they look alike? Why do they look alike? Good. It's important to recognize that the drawings represent the numbers, right? We can use the drawings to solve for the numbers, and the drawings help us understand what the numbers are looking like and what the numbers mean. So I want you to try this one on your own. We're going to add 19 plus 41. All right? This one is similar to some of the trickier problems we were doing yesterday. So pause, try this on your own. Make it on your place value chart, and then write it out in vertical form. I'm going to do the same on mine. You ready? All right, let's go over it. So I'm going to make 19 first, which is 1, 10, 9 ones. Again, I'm setting it up in 5 groups so that it's easier for me to see groups of 10. Now 41, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1. Okay. Now, what I'm noticing right off the bat is that I have 10 ones in here. Did you notice that when you worked through your problem? Yeah, right? What are we going to do with those 10 ones? We're going to circle them, right? We're going to move them over. We're going to get rid of them. I'm going to circle them so I know there's 10 ones there, and I know there's not any left over. So I have 10 ones, and I'm going to add a 10 over here. The arrow is a good way to show that we're moving them over, that we still have that same value. We're just moving them over. Now remember, when we do this, we have to add that little 1 onto our vertical method so that we know we're adding another 10 group. Do we have any ones left over now that aren't in the circle? No, right? So we have 0 ones left over, and then how many 10s do we have? 6. Awesome. All right, let's try this one. Go ahead, clear your board, and I want you to write 57 plus 28 on your paper and solve using the vertical method. Then we'll go over it. Ready? Okay, so I have 57 plus 28. That's our problem. So I'm going to start by making 57, 5, 6, 7, and 28. Okay, I'm already noticing that there's way more than 10 ones in our ones place, right? So I'm going to circle 10 of the ones. So there we go. Okay, then I'm going to draw an arrow and move them over so that I know I moved them over. I'm going to add a 10. Now, I'm going to make sure I add that 1 in our 10s place over here because we're adding that extra 1. Now, how many ones are left over? Not in the circle. There's 5, right? Very good. So I'm going to write a 5 on the line because there's 5 ones left over, not in the circle, that I didn't move over. Now, how many 10s do I have? 8. Perfect. So 57 plus 28 is 85. What we're going to be moving towards is not using our place value charts and place value discs, okay, just to prepare you. That's why it's important to notice the 10, and we're going to practice circling the 10 and then drawing an arrow so that our brain kind of recognizes that we see 10 and we're moving them over. It's still the same value, but we're just moving them over to the 10's place. The circle also helps us see which extra ones, how many extra ones we have. So you can see, right, I circled 10, and I have 5 extra ones here. They're outside of the circle, so those are extra. Remember, every time that you move that 10 over, when you start doing the vertical method, you got to add that little 1 there, or however many 10s you're moving over, so that you add it in. 5 plus 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay? You're going to do the same thing with your exit ticket today. I did a little place value chart for you. You're going to solve, bundle the 10s, circle the 10s when you can, and move them over. You have 5 problems to solve today. Solve them using the vertical method. So write them out on your paper in the vertical method and use your place value chart. And you got this. Have fun, and I will see you tomorrow.